Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy, and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that and more on my channel. And today we're going to be going over our October budget, which is absolutely crazy. I know it's still pretty it's the middle of September now, but I know it feels probably pretty early. But I do like to film our budgets pretty early because I like to get these out for you guys. If you didn't watch my last video, which was our net worth update, I did talk about in that video, I'm on like a moderate hiatus from YouTube. I took a little break coming back, but I'm only going to be doing one video a week for a little bit. Just don't want to burn out. I was feeling like really burned out with YouTube, to be honest, for like months. And I was kind of just pushing through and trying to just keep going. And I realized I want to keep doing YouTube for the long term. Like, this is something that's really important to me. I really enjoy like sharing our journey with you guys, even though I feel like sometimes it's really boring, but I do enjoy sharing videos with you guys. And so I don't want to burn out and then like completely leave, which is where I was like at this crossroads of like feeling really burned out and then also wanting to keep going, but then also wanting to quit and completely stop doing YouTube. But I felt like let's just take a break and then come back like part-time, I guess. It's just been a lot with you guys know my husband and I both work full-time and we have 3 kids. And so there's a lot going on this time of year, especially my oldest plays football and baseball. My middle plays soccer. And there's just a lot going on right now with sports and school and getting back in routines. So long story short, I am here. I will be doing probably one video a week, which has felt really good. Like last week was my first week doing one video. And then this week, I feel like this is really sustainable for me. So thank you guys for your patience. And yeah, I will continue to do pretty much the same videos that I've been doing. I am planning on doing more real life budget reviews because that is something that you guys said you enjoy. So that'll probably be coming in the next couple weeks. And then as far as Debt Free Friday, I am temporarily going to be doing them once a month. That might stay, that might change. I might do bi-weekly at some point, but for now, it just kind of feels right to do like a once a month check-in because honestly, there's really not much happening with the expenses that we've had added to our budget recently. Like, we don't have a ton extra to be putting towards our goals every single week. We are still making weekly transfers, but I will just start to share them monthly. So I'll probably film a video next week, which will be our September Debt Free Friday recap. So stay tuned for that. Long story short, but let's go ahead and get started with our October budget. So October is actually an extra paycheck month for me and my husband. We are both paid bi-weekly, but we're paid on opposite weeks. So this is a 5 paycheck month instead of a 4 paycheck month, which is really exciting. So let's go ahead and go over our October budget. If you are interested in this budget sheet, I do have it in my Etsy shop. So if you are interested, feel free to check it out in my Etsy shop. I always have that link down below. So feel free to take a look if you're interested. I made this budget sheet when we were still getting out of debt, and I still to this day use it to give myself a nice visual breakdown of our budget. And it's really just a nice way for me to check in before the month begins and kind of make sure we're following our like structure that we like to have and just tracking things appropriately. So as far as W-2 income for this month, like I said, this is an extra paycheck month for us. So we are expecting $9,800 of income this month, which is more than usual because we do have that extra paycheck, which is awesome because with our daycare expense, it has been, I hate to say like tight, but it's just been tighter than we're used to. And obviously, daycare is just a fact of our life right now. We have to have my son in daycare at this point. So, and he's really enjoying it and doing fantastic. So I'm very happy about it, but also it's a lot on our budget when we don't have like a ton extra. So first expense is our mortgage. We are paying $2,400 a month for our mortgage. Our actual mortgage amount is like 2365 or something, or 2350 something. We do just round it up now to 2400. That allows us to pay a little bit extra, and it also just makes it like a nice round number. Our daycare, we pay weekly, but it is $1,200 for the month. So $1,200, yeah. So half of our mortgage payment. So not fun, but it is what it is. Then we also have our Peloton membership. So we do have to pay for that. That is $46. And my husband and I kind of just view that as like a gym membership, essentially. We both use the Peloton app and the bike, and we really enjoy the ecosystem of Peloton. We've had our bike for 5 years, and we actually recently did get a tread. I have not talked about that on this channel. We did use a portion of the money that we had gotten from the windfall to just go ahead and buy it. We were planning on buying the tread at the end of the year, but then they did have a sale that came out a couple of weeks ago. And we were like, okay, let's just pull the trigger now. Like, we have the money in savings. This is something we really want. And it is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I've been using it a lot. It is amazing. So, highly recommend if you're considering it, even though it is a very expensive purchase. But it is something that we've been thinking about for quite some time. This is not something that we like completely crazy. You know, I've been talking about, if you've been on my channel for a while, you've probably heard me talk about it for at least a year, if not longer. And yeah, so we do now have the bike and the tread, and our membership didn't go up. Like, this is just the membership price. So we get the bike and the tread for $46. So I feel like that's a great deal. We can use the bike, the tread, or the app. So it's been really great for us. We are like loyal Peloton people. So it's not for everyone, but it is for us. So we really enjoy that. Then we have our internet that is $60 a month for that. We also have our giving. So we do give every single month. We have a reoccurring donation for $100 to St. Jude. And then we also have a reoccurring brokerage transaction that happens the first of every month as well. And that is to just like our normal brokerage account. Again, I've talked about this like ad nauseum every single one of these videos, but we do have the brokerage. We don't have plans for it necessarily. We just enjoy like investing a little bit on like that side of things, because we do have obviously our 401ks and our Roth IRAs, but that is really for like our retirement. And we also have an HSA, which we are using for like medical expenses and also trying to save a little bit for retirement as well. So we have like a lot of retirement accounts going, but the brokerage is something that we could use for other things. I mean, I don't know. We only have like a few $1,000s in there. I think we just hit 10,000 a little while ago. So, but we've had this for years. I think since like 2019 is technically when I opened it, but it was for a long time, just like kind of sitting there, like doing nothing. So we are doing $100 a month for that. And it's been really great to like slowly build that account. And again, we don't have any plans for it necessarily, but it is something that will be helpful for like maybe an early retirement, or even to like gift money to our kids at some point in the future, if that's something that we want to do. So kind of just leaving it open right now for whatever we want to use it for. Sorry, I totally skipped ahead. Electric and gas is $204. We have that on our budget billing. So that is $204. And that brings our total fixed expenses to $4,110. And that leaves our remaining at $5,690, which is awesome. I'm not used to having that much left over. So that feels really good for this extra paycheck month. And then we're moving up to our variable expenses. So we haven't like, our budget is so like boring. I don't know. We like keep the same categories. Really, things don't change very much, but I do still like to share because I feel like it's nice to kind of see like a real person's budget sometimes, like when a lot of, or like maybe people who make like a similar amount to you, like it can just be nice to like share these things. So spending, my husband and I both get 125 into our personal checking accounts every single month. We do have separate personal checking accounts. That's where the 125 gets deposited for each of us. And then we spend that on whatever we want. A lot of times I will use it for like a pedicure, which I don't do like very often, but I'll randomly get a pedicure every few months, or like a coffee out, which I don't do very often, but you know, sometimes. Or I will use mine for like clothing or like anything extra that like isn't really like another budget category, or things that I don't want to like spend other categories on that are like related to myself. Or my husband recently has been using his for like his fantasy football and like that kind of stuff. So this is just like personal things that don't really have anything to do with like our kids or the family. These are just like our things. So we did previously have this at 200. Then I think a year ago we bumped it up to 250. We might bump it up again in the future. But right now it feels good to be around that 250 mark for the personal spending. Gas, we are doing 300. We've been coming in a little bit under budget on gas lately, but again, it's just something that I like to have a little bit more. Groceries, $1,000 for our family of five, which at one point, a few years ago, like if we rewind to like maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, I probably would have thought that this was a crazy amount of money to spend on groceries. But honestly, this is like difficult, honestly, for us to hit. We could easily go over $1,000 on groceries, like easily, really easily, like without even trying. We have to try to keep it under 1,000. So yeah, it's just expensive. I have been really loving Aldi again. I go through like phases. So we do have Walmart Plus, and we really enjoy having Walmart Plus because we get our groceries delivered. We actually have not only Walmart Plus, but we also have now the in-home, which allows you to get deliveries tip free. So that's been really nice. I think it's an extra $40 a year, but you don't have to tip the drivers because they're actually like Walmart employees. So we're kind of trying that. I just started that like a little bit ago. We're in like the 30-day trial, but I think I will probably keep it because it's been nice to not have to like, I tip like generously when we get grocery delivery. So like the $40 will pay for itself in like a few trips essentially. But yeah, we've been trying that out. So I do really enjoy getting our groceries delivered, but from a cost perspective, it's definitely more affordable for our family to shop at Aldi. So I've been trying to go either bi-weekly or like at least once a month to get some of like the snack items and things that are just a lot cheaper there. So we've been able to stick under 1,000, but like I said, it's been like we have to really try to do that. Then fun and kids, we are doing $75 for that. That's for like anything extra for our kids, birthday parties, or just random things. Like my daughter had like a fun run at school and I had to pay like $10 for that. So that's the kind of things that come out of that budget. Then miscellaneous, I did bump this up slightly this month because October is obviously Halloween. So we will be buying costumes. We don't really spend like a ton of money on costumes. Like we do very affordable costumes typically for the three kids. And then like I usually get them at Costco, to be honest, and they're like $20 each. So there's that. And then we will be obviously getting candy for our neighborhood. So I did bump this up from 200 to 250 to kind of account for a little bit of that extra spend, but we should have enough in there to cover that. And then dining out, we are doing 300 for the month. So that brings our total variable expenses to 2,175 and our remaining at 3,515. Moving down to our sinking funds, we have had these 5 sinking funds for a very long time. These are just what works for us. Like this, we've really found like a thing that works for us. It took us a really long time to like figure out how to use sinking funds and what worked for us. I have gone from using like a ton of different sinking funds to using only 5. I've at times even had less than this. But this is like a happy medium for us. I feel like some people really enjoy having like very, very specific sinking funds. So like they'll have like 20 sinking funds. That didn't work for us because then I felt like it was too hyper specific that I never wanted to pull from them. This is like a perfect middle ground for us. But again, you have to figure out what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. So just kind of use your budget as like a tool to see what works for you. You can be wrong. You can have things wrong in your budget and then adjust them as time goes on. That's kind of what we did. And we've really found something like this budget has been, like I said earlier in the video, we've had this same budget structure for years at this point, and it really just works for us. So first sinking fund is our car. This is like car/car maintenance. We are trying to continue to build this fund up. We do have a pretty good chunk in here right now, but we do want to continue to build it up because we do use this for our 6-month car insurance. We also use it for like oil changes, car maintenance, anything with our cars. So I do also want to like continue to keep building this because eventually we will need to replace our cars. Our cars are relatively new. I always forget what year the CRV is. Is it a 2018? I think our CRV is a 2018 and we have a Pilot now that's a 2020. I can't remember. 2017? I can't remember. Anyways, they're like relatively new. Obviously 2020 is not that new, or 2018, but they're like still moderately new. So I don't feel like we'll need to replace them anytime soon. We just got our Pilot a few months ago. So definitely, hopefully not that one, but just something to keep in mind. We want to keep building this account up, even as we're not like necessarily using it. And in the same vein, our home sinking fund, I am bumping this up a little bit because we do have extra income this month to 200. We honestly don't use our home sinking fund very frequently because we do have a newer home. Our home was built in 2022, so we really haven't had to use it. But again, like I'm hoping to keep building this up because there will be points in time where our house is no longer new, and so just trying to get like a really healthy buffer in that account in case we do have home maintenance that comes up in the next few years, which it will. So $200 to our home for this month, 100 for Christmas. We do save every single month for Christmas. We've been doing 100 every single month this year, which means we will have $1,200 by December to be able to spend on Christmas, which is great. Kids, we are doing 50. This is one that like we don't use a ton. We use it usually for like back to school, like larger kids expenses that kind of don't fit in this category. So back to school, and then also like we'll use it for like sports registration fees and all of that stuff. And then similar to the car and home, we are going to bump up slightly our vacation sinking fund this month to 300 because we have the extra money and we also want to keep building this one up. Obviously, we want to go on vacations. So, and we do actually, I have not shared this, but we do have a vacation planned in January. This is going to be a Christmas gift for our kids. So be quiet. Don't tell them because I don't want them to know. Not that you would tell them because you don't know me in real life, but you know, shh. But we are going to be surprising our kids. I don't know why I'm talking slow or talking so quiet. My kids are not home. They cannot hear me. But we are going to be surprising our kids with a cruise for Christmas. So I will talk more about that as we get into like the December timeframe because we are going to be doing Christmas a little bit different this year because their main large gift is a cruise that we're going to be going on in January. So they will not have a normal Christmas this year. We are definitely doing a very light Christmas this year as far as presents. So happy to share more about that. I do still plan to film like all of our regular Christmas videos, but yeah, we will be doing like a lighter Christmas this year, which I've been wanting to do for a long time. Like I feel like experiences with our kids are so much more important than gifts. And I think that they can both be great, but I've been feeling like for a few years that we really wanted to do something like this for our kids. And when we got the windfall that we got a few months ago, I really felt like we wanted to earmark some of that to do a cruise with them for Christmas, to do like a really exciting, fun, crazy surprise. And I'm very excited for them. They're going to be thrilled. So Christmas will be looking a little bit different. But yes, I also wanted to give a little bit more in the vacation category because we are still hoping to go on like our normal family vacation next year as well. And so we do want to make sure we have enough. So 750 total going into our sinking funds, and that leaves our remaining at 2,765. And that will be all going to, well, hopefully, as long as we can stay in our budget, that will be going towards my husband's Roth IRA. We are currently working on my husband's Roth IRA. As soon as we're done with his Roth IRA, we will work on my Roth IRA. And that pretty much does it for our annual goals. We do have another goal to continue to put more money towards our kids' college fund. So like if we finish his Roth IRA and my Roth IRA, that is the goal that we will work on until the end of the year. And then we will start on our 2026 goals when 2026 starts. So that is that for our budget this month. So 2,765 going to the Roth, and that leaves us at a zero-based budget. So that is all I have for the month of October. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you've done your October budget yet. What are you looking forward to in October? Is there anything exciting? Are you like a huge Halloween fan? Do you really love Halloween? My kids are like Halloween obsessed. So this is always a really fun month for us. And there's always a lot of like fun celebrations and things that we do in October. So let me know in the comments down below what you're looking forward to, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.